Hi, I'm Cassie with True North ITG. Thank you for joining our weekly video series. We're hoping to cover off on some very important IT related topics in the future like networking, data solutions, hosting, disaster recovery, but honestly, we want this seminar to be largely driven by our audience. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to follow us on LinkedIn or comment your ideas in the section below. We hope to get to them in the following weeks. But thank you for joining us. Let's go. This week we're going to discuss recovery point objective and recovery time objective, what each one of these means, and the metrics to which they should be held to ensure that if your company does experience a data loss or breach, that no revenue is lost. Unfortunately, the recent hurricanes in Texas, Florida, and Puerto Rico, the large amount of ransomware attacks occurring, or the ever-increasing amount of data breaches that has happened at some of our nation's largest hospitals, we feel this is a very important topic to discuss right now. In addition, healthcare data is now 10 times more valuable on the black market than any other set of data. What that means is if you're a healthcare IT provider, this topic probably keeps you up at night. We hope to do many more videos about this in the future to help mitigate that risk. Recovery point objective and recovery time objective, let's break both of these down. So when we talk about these metrics, let's go ahead and look at a time scale and say that the disaster occurred here, it's 0 hours. And historically, this was a lightning strike or a flood, but today's disaster recovery breaks the narrative of landslides and natural disasters. Today's disaster recovery is physiological, not just physical. And what that means is a hacker getting into the system, stealing the information from it, or more frequently now, holding it ransom for large sums of money payable only in cryptocurrencies. And we're going to get into that in future videos because we have seen it happen in the healthcare industry. So RPO looks backwards and says, when was the point at which your data was last backed up? When was it last sent to an offsite location or cloud? And typically industry standards nowadays are looking between 4 and 6 hours, meaning your data is backed up maybe 5 to 6 times a day. So what does that mean? It is almost noon here. Imagine if all the information that your employees had worked on all morning today was completely wiped out. In a large hospital or medical center with many practitioners, many mid-levels, that could be hundreds of pieces of information, thousands of pages of data, completely unrecoverable. Recovery time objective actually looks forward in time. And it says, how long until we get this last drop of useful information back into the hands of your practitioners? How long until anything that needed to be fixed from this outage, including patches, repairing the network, expelling any viruses from the system, replacing any hardware, how long does it take until your system is back up and running and looks identical to what occurred before the breach? Industry standards nowadays is looking at 3 to 4 days. Imagine 3 to 4 days of paper notes or 3 to 4 days of no computer system. And then the time and cost of then transcribing everything that was done in paper form back into your EMR. We have seen this happen in the industry and we don't want it to happen to you. If your system falls into these recovery objective numbers, you are not HIPAA compliant. Is HIPAA going to fine you for having insufficient metrics? Probably not. But have I seen it happen? I have. So what can we do to improve on these? Well, a virtual replication app like Zerto, is who we happen to use here, is going to continuously stream your data to an existing production. Sometimes this is known as a failover data reproduction. When we say continuous, we mean an RPO of about 15 seconds, and we mean an RTO of about 1 hour. If your data is backed up every 15 seconds and there was an outage, there's virtually no interruption to your system. If this is not you, it's time to have an honest conversation with your IT provider about bringing your system up to these metrics and making sure that your system is completely secure and it's completely locked down. Again, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to write them down below. Follow me on LinkedIn, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.